Hey there, we are live from Midtown Comics Times Square. I am Henry, and it is Wednesday. It is New Comic Book Day, and it is an exciting week in the world of comics. There's a lot of really good stuff coming out this week. Lots of cool events that we have going on in our stores. So just to give you guys the inside scoop, we're going to be having a signing tomorrow with Ethan Sachs for Old Man Hawkeye #1, which comes out this week. So come by our stores, pick up the books, and then tomorrow come by Midtown Comics downtown and meet Ethan Sachs for a fantastic signing. And then on Friday, we have Jim Zub signing Avengers number 675, part 1 of the No Surrender arc, which is going to be huge for the Avengers. But you guys got to come by. You got to check out the signing. You got to meet Jim because he's a fantastic guy. And we're going to go through and we're going to talk about all these books now. It's really a fantastic week for books. So let's get started, and we'll talk about some of the staff picks to start us off. So first off, we've got Charles, who is picking Star Wars Forces of Destiny Rey from IDW. He's a huge Star Wars nut, so I'm not surprised at all. Then we've got Seabaz, who picked Headlopper. He's always out for that indie fix, a very cool choice. Then we've got Tom, who is a big X-Men nut, so of course, Phoenix Resurrection, a fantastic story. Issue 3's out this week. Then Becca, Becca, you know Becca, loves Batwoman, so anytime she's on the cover, Detective Comics makes perfect sense, and it's a fantastic story. And then Jay went with Darth Vader. He's practically a Sith Lord himself, big fan of the character, and some great books right there. Now we're going to go through and we're going to talk about all the new releases for this week, starting off with Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, issue number 18. Some really cool stuff featuring the Birds of Prey, and I love this Yannick Paquette cover. I'm a big fan of his covers on this series throughout. It's been really cool. Then as we move on, we've got Batman in Detective Comics, issue number 972. We've got the cool Gilliam March cover here, which I actually am a big fan of. That's the copy that I picked up. James Tynion has been telling this really depressing story, the fall of the Batman, and, you know, I feel it's so weird that I feel empathy for Clayface, like, of all people, but it's been such a great story, such a harrowing journey for him. Some really cool covers here. Raphael Albuquerque on that one. Some great stuff and a great book. Now, as we move on, we have the brand new issue of Gotham City Garage, issue number 7. Some cool stuff if you like it's like steampunk versions of DC's heroines, and it's really cool. Then we also have a double dose of Harley this week. We have the Be Careful What You Wish For #1 special. Now, this is really fun. This was actually only available previously through like Loot Crate a couple years back, but they decided to do a wide release. And not only that, but they actually added additional content. So it's got an added 18 pages of content in this book. So even if you got that Loot Crate one, you don't have this. So you need to swing by and pick it up. Then it's the last issue of Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti on Harley Quinn with issue number 34. I am sad to see them go. They have left such a huge impact on the character of Harley Quinn, and I actually love, so this is something that Amanda Conner does on all of her books when she leaves. She did it with this, she did it with Starfire, she did it with Power Girl, a really nice collage type cover, really commemorating all the different things they've done with the book. I've been a big fan of this run, and I am very excited to see what comes from Frank Thierry when he jumps onto the book next issue. Now, as we continue, we've got the brand new issue of Red Hood and the Outlaws, and that is the Creeper. That is the Creeper. The Creeper is back in comics, and that is awesome and weird because it's Creeper. And Creeper actually used to like terrify me when I was younger because I just didn't know how to get a read off of the guy. And it's issue 18. Scott Lobdell's been having a lot of fun, and now we still have the super smart Brainiac, well, not Brainiac, but Brainiac version of Bizarro. Some really compelling stuff if you are a fan of the Red Hood series. Now, continuing on, we've got the brand new issue of Dead Man by Neil Adams, featuring Neil Adams and Neil Adams. That's right, it's a one-man show. He's doing some amazing work, writing, drawing, doing all the colors, doing some great stuff with one of DC's classic supernatural heroes. Now, as we move on, we've got Flash number 38, and we have some great covers here. I'm a sucker for Captain Cold, as many of you know, so naturally I had to pick up both covers of this issue. Some really great stuff. We got the Francesco Mattina cover, and then we got the Barry Kitson, and this is great, but what makes me happier than anything I could possibly have fathomed is that it's got the art of Scott Collins. And Scott Collins has not drawn Flash in years, and he was one of the main artists during Jeff Johns' run on the title, and I love his art. So seeing him on Flash was great, and it definitely helps that it's Captain Cold-centric. Really great storyline. You should check it out. Now, moving on, we've got the brand new issue of Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, issue number 36. We've got another cool cover from Barry Kitson doing some really great stuff. And then we have this great cover from Francis Manapul, The Twilight of the Guardians, in the grips of the controllers, as the Green Lantern Corps faces off against the controllers to see who can rule. Well, not rule, because, you know, the Green Lanterns don't really rule, but who can patrol the galaxy, who can keep an eye out for everybody. Some really great stuff from Robert Venditti. Now, moving on, we've got the brand new issue of Justice League of America with the Queen of Hearts dead center on the cover. Justice is a story where everyone dies. Wow, that's a really bleak outlook, you know? She does not sound like a happy camper. She's probably going to fight them. I don't know. Maybe that's just my hunch, but some really cool stuff. Steve Orlando, issue number 22. He's been doing a great job on the series if you haven't already been checking it out. Now we move on, and we do have the brand new issue of Michael Cray from Wildstorm. Some great stuff from Brian Hill with Warren Ellis and Stephen Harris. Really great book focusing on some cool characters. And we have a great book right here. We've got Mr. Miracle, issue number 6. And if you have not been reading this book from Tom King and Mitch Gerads, you've been missing out on one of the most critically acclaimed books of the year. It is really fantastic, and I'm really excited to see where this leaves the story, because this is basically going to have there's a month off for the book, so issue 7 is going to be coming out in March. So I'm very curious to see where this leaves the story, and I am just anxious because it's been such a great read. You guys need to check it out. It really is a fantastic read. Now, as we continue on, we've got the 4th issue of Ragman from Ray Fox, a very cool horror-esque book in Gotham City from DC. And then we have Scooby Apocalypse. You want to talk about horror, you got Scooby Apocalypse taking the gang through some really awful circumstances. Love this Carlos Diondo cover. And we've also got backup features of The Secret Squirrel, which is great. If you guys ever watched Secret Squirrel when you were a kid, you know it's a lot of fun. And this book is really great from Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis. Now, moving on, we've got Suicide Squad, issue number 33, and I just noticed they do that. That's a really cool thing. Anybody who wants the variant covers, you can actually tell it says variant cover on it really clearly, so you never have to worry. That's awesome. I didn't notice that. But what I did notice is this amazing cover, which harkens back to the original Suicide Squad. These 8 people will put their lives on the line for our country. One of them won't be coming home. And it looks really fun, of course, hearing the cry. It's me, isn't it? Very fun stuff if you are a Suicide Squad fan like myself. Then we have the brand new issue of Supergirl, issue number 17, also from Steve Orlando with Jody Hauser. And then we've got the cool cover from Art Germ, Stanley Lau. Really fun, really cute, and look at the cute little doggy. You know, who doesn't like a cute little doggy? Really great book, really cool. If you're a fan of the character, you know you're reading it. If you've been watching the TV show, you know you're reading it. It really is great. It really is worthwhile. Check it out. Now we're going to take a bump up, and we're going to talk about some of the collected editions that are out this week. First off, we've got Hellboy and the BPRD 1954. I remember it fondly. Very fun book from Mike Mignola and Chris Roberson, doing some great stuff with Richard Corbin, which is really cool. Then we also have the 2nd volume of Batman Beyond. I love the Dave Johnson art here. Some great stuff from Dan Jurgens, Bernard Chang, Rise of the Demon, dealing with Ra's al Ghul. Now we also have, this is a cool throwback. We've got the future, we got the past, we got Shadow of the Bat, Volume 3, some classic stories from the 90s from Alan Grant, Brett Blevins, and Bob Smith. Then we have Batman Nightwalker, an actual prose book. That's right, we have actual books, you know, and a very cool book from Mary Lou. And we have Harley Quinn, Volume 4, surprise, surprise. Very fun stuff, of course, collecting some of the most recent issues from Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor with John Timms on art. And now we have a brand new printing, a new edition of Black Lightning Year 1, a cool book from a couple years back from Jen Van Meter and Cully Hamner. Fantastic art in that book. Really cool series. If you never checked it out, it's actually a really good read. I really enjoyed it. Then we have Injustice, Gods Among Us, Year 3, the complete the complete year. That's it. Year 3, straight up. So you don't have to worry about buying Volume 1, Volume 2. You just get Year 3. There's some great stuff from Tom Taylor and Brian Buccellato, who picks up writing duties from here. And then we also have, from Valiant, we have Harbinger Renegades, Volume 2, one of their more recent series, the modern continuation of Harbinger, who they've, of course, had some crazy stuff going on with that team over in the Valiant universe. Now, we are going to bring it back down, and we're going to talk about one of the books I'm super excited for this week, Action Comics, issue 995, from Dan Jurgens, and I really dig this Jurgens cover. I also love this Dustin Nguyen cover, which is very cool. And look, there's the variant. Haha, now I'm never going to forget that. Really cool stuff, really great read. They are messing up the timeline like crazy in Action Comics right now. And the story is called Booster Shot, which I think is a very fun play on words. And it's a very fun story if you haven't been checking it out. Now, what we have here is a very cool Ace Comic-Con exclusive edition of Superman issue number 75 with art by Greg Horn. A very cool edition. It's only $10. You can swing by. You couldn't make it to the con. You can make it by here, and you can pick it up. Then we also have new Superman issue number 19. Of course, the book is great. I love these covers that Bernard Jang's been doing on this book for the last year. They're always fun. They're always really cool. And new Superman is an absolute delight. Now, as we continue, we've got the final issue of Superwoman. Of course, it's been a fun journey. It's been a great ride. But alas, Lana Lang's time has come to an end. We get a couple cool covers here. Definitely a great book. Now it's over. It's 18 issues. Easy to pick that up. Easy to go back and check out. Now, as we move on, we've got the brand new issue of Titans, issue number 19, the final stand of Donna Troy, and I gotta show, because I love it, this Dan Mora cover, which is really great. It's such a cool read. Dan Abnett has been doing a great job on the book, and Paul Pelletier on art. I love Pelletier. He's done some great stuff. I loved him back when he did Fantastic Four. Really cool stuff. Check out the book if you're a fan of the Titans, and also it's got Wally, and I love Wally, so yay. Now we have the brand new issue of Wonder Woman, Swan Song Part 1. It is a new storyline. It is a great chance to jump in, and this Jenny Friesen cover is gorgeous. Really cool book from James Robinson and Emanuela Lupacchino. Now we move on, and we've got a book that, of course, makes me super happy. We've got the WWE Royal Rumble 2018 special. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling my entire life, and the Hardy Boys are on a cover of a comic book, so I had to buy it because I'm a huge Hardy Boys fan. But this is actually a really great read. The Boom comics have been so fun for the WWE, and what I think is an added bonus for the fans, AJ Styles actually writes one of the stories in here, which is really great because it is reflecting on his own time when he made his very famous debut 2 years ago in the Royal Rumble. So that is a must-read for anybody who is an AJ Styles fan. Now we move on to another book that I'm very excited about this week, Battlestar Galactica versus Battlestar Galactica, issue number 1. So this is great because it takes the original Battlestar Galactica series from 1978 and it combines it with the mini-series that led into the series that was on Sci-Fi a few years back. Some really cool stuff here. We've got the action figure variant that shows us our very different depiction of Adama. We've, of course, got the very cool cover here that's got Starbuck in classic iteration with the modern-day Cylons. This is a great chance to check out some of the comic books, and it's also written by Peter David, who is an amazing writer, so I am super excited to check this out. I'm legitimately super hyped because I love Battlestar Galactica, so I'm really excited for the book. Then we have the 0 issue of Deja Thoris. Now, this is a 0 issue from Dynamite, so it's only a quarter. That is absurdly easy to buy. It's quarter. You got a quarter in your pocket. You can buy a gumball or you can buy a comic book. What are you going to do? You're going to pick up the comic book. It's going to last a lot longer than a gumball, and it is a definite chance for you to check out a character maybe you hadn't been exposed to before. A really good read, and it's Amy Chu. Then we have the brand new Atlas and Axis book. Very cool stuff from Static Press, an imprint of Titan Comics. And we also have the brand new issue of Bloodshot Salvation. Really cool stuff from Jeff Lemire and Louis LaRosa with Miko Sayan. Really great book. If you haven't checked it out, there's a whole bunch of covers. I could just go through. I could just keep showing you different covers because there's just so many covers. Look at that Kenneth Rocafort cover. I love Rocafort. I loved him on Ultimates. Big fan of the series. Now we move on, and we've got a reprinted edition of Eternity. And then we also have the brand new Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe issue number 1. Now this is really cool. If you are excited, like I am, for the Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe web series that will be debuting soon, you guys can check out the comic book, which bridges the world of that with the world that we are familiar with from the comic books. Some really cool stuff, and I also love that we got the likenesses of everybody. So you've got like Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, whatever you want to call him, on the cover. You've got Jason David Frank on the cover. You got all these different likenesses, and I think that's really cool. I'm super excited for this series when it's a web series. I'm already excited for the book, too. And then we've got the brand new issue of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. A couple different covers here. There's some crazy stuff. That's really funny. It's got the little editor's note on it showing you the process. Very cool. And, of course, we see the new Snake Eyes facing off against Storm Shadow in a classic clash that fans love to see. And it's really cool, really exciting stuff. Issue 247, and Larry Hama's still at it, doing great work. Now we move on, and we've got Satellite Falling, the trade paperback collection. And we've also got Limbo Lounge, which looks really fun and really cool. And it's apparently freaking amazing, man. So that's awesome. Very cool. Good to see nice praise. Real praise, you know. That's something people really say. Then we've got the brand new issue of Saucer State, issue number 6 from Paul Cornell. Very cool stuff. And we've got what I mentioned before. We've got Star Wars Forces of Destiny, Rey. Some really cool stuff here, exploring, of course, Rey, who has become a linchpin of the modern-day Star Wars trilogy. Now we're going to bring it up, and we'll talk about some cool collections. We've got G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. This is volume 19. Volume 19, that's awesome, from Larry Hama. We also have Gem and the Holograms Infinite. Really cool stuff here from Kelly Thompson. And then we have Cowboy Ninja Viking. Now, if that's not a great name, I don't know what you're looking for. Some really cool stuff featuring the art of Riley Rosmo, and I love Riley Rosmo's art. He is fantastic. We also have the second trade paperback collection of Curse Words from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. One of the really fun books. If you haven't checked it out, this book is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I wholly recommend it because Charles Soule is doing some really great stuff with it, and it is a lot of fun. And it's a really good week for image trades because we also have the brand new volume of Descender from Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen, Volume 5, Rise of the Robots. And I love, this is a design-centric cover. This is the kind of thing that, like, looks like it should be in a museum. It's fantastic. It's gorgeous. And it's Dustin Nguyen, whose art is always amazing. Then we also have the Divided States of Hysteria, one of the most controversial books of 2017, being collected by Howard Chaykin. And we also have Mage, the Hero Defined, from Matt Wagner. This is volume 3, but it's book 2 of the Hero Defined. Some cool stuff there. And then we have the new volume of Postal as well from Matt Hawkins, Brian Hill, and Isaac Goodart. And a book that you guys know I'm a big fan of. We've got the latest collected edition of Wicked and Divine, Imperial Phase Part 2. It's volume 6 of the series, and it is a great chance for you guys to catch up on the book. The book is on a brief hiatus right now, so now's the time to pick up the trade, to read the book, and get ready for all the chaos that is soon to unfold. We also have the Black Panther Prelude from Marvel. Really cool stuff if you are excited for the movie. And, of course, we've got the Black Panther Ultimate Guide as well. So if you guys are excited for Black Panther next month, well, of course you're excited. I'm excited. You guys are probably excited. It's going to be the first time we get to see a full Black Panther feature. And now we can find out all the need-to-know information because it's the Ultimate Guide, and we've got the Prelude. So that's everything we could possibly need to know about the character. Very cool. And now, as we bring it back down, we've got a lot of cool stuff still going from IDW, including the new issue of Sword of Ages from Gabriel Rodriguez. Very cool sword and sorcery type book that is definitely worth your time. And we also have the brand new issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Invasion of the Triceratons Part 3. And Master Splinter looks really cool there. I like to think that Master Splinter is probably tougher than, like, all the Turtles. I mean, let's be real. He trained them, right? He's awesome. We also have the brand new issue of X-Files, or the brand new volume, sorry, of X-Files, The Resistance, Volume 4 of the series. Perfect timing with the brand new season just starting last week. As we move on, we've also got the latest issue of Coyotes, issue number 3 from Sean Lewis and Caitlin Yarsky. Very cool book if you want a bit of a spooky book that plays on some old lore. Very cool. We also have the brand new issue of Eternal Empire, issue number 6. Very cool read. And then as we continue on, we've got Headlopper, issue number 4. Of course, one of the coolest comics that Image is doing because it's just so weird, so wacky, and it's got great covers here. And then we have Kingsman, the Red Diamond, issue number 5 out of 6 from Rob Williams and Simon Fraser. A couple different covers here. We've got that one. And then who needs color when you can have black and white? Some great stuff in that book. Definitely check it out. Then we have the brand new issue of Paradiso, issue number 2, with a very cool surreal cover. Couple different covers here. You know that this book is going to have some weird, crazy sci-fi, high-octane action. And then we also have the brand new issue of Port of Earth from Zach Kaplan and Andrea Muti. If you want to check out a cool sci-fi adventure, check it out. It is really great. It's really cool. Kaplan's doing some great stuff on it. And then we also have the brand new issue of Rose. Now, there's a couple different covers here, which I think are fantastic. And, ooh, we may have actually sold out of my favorite cover. So we did. We already sold out. There was a third cover that I absolutely loved that we've already sold out of. So you guys better pick up the book quick because it's clearly flying off the shelves. Then we have the brand new issue of Royal City, issue number 9. Very cool book from Jeff Lemire. And this time Ray Fox contributes a cover, which is very cool. And we also have the new issue of Sleepless, issue number 2. Now, as we continue on, we've got the brand new issue of Slots, issue number 4. It's from Skybound, which is within the world of Image, so it's, you know, their little imprint, and some great stuff. Dan Panosian's art is always phenomenal, so if you want just a gorgeous book, check out Slots. Then we have the brand new issue of Stray Bullets, Sunshine and Roses, issue number 31 from David Lapham, as well as the brand new issue of Witchblade, issue number 2. It just restarted, and if you missed last issue, it's okay, because there's a second printing right here. So it's a great read, a modern take on Witchblade. Now, as we continue on, we've got the brand new issue of Youngblood from Chad Bowers, and then we have one of the biggest books of the week, Avengers 675, No Surrender.
Oh.
And it seems we have found...
Can I interest you in a copy of Avengers 275, the beginning of No Surrender?
Well, that sounds fantastic. It seems that we have found Tom Brevoort from our fine friends at Marvel. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How's it going by you?
It is going fantastic. It is a big week in the world of comics, and we've got No Surrender here.
There is nothing bigger in the world of comics today than No Surrender Part 1, the first part of our 16-week, 16-part, huge weekly Avengers epic, an issue shipping every week. No tie-ins, no crossovers, no nothing, just wall-to-wall Avengers action and adventure and suspense and thrills and ridiculousness, all behind this really nicely done Mark Brooks lenticular cover. It is wonderful.
I love that he's doing that. He's doing some great stuff.
Phoenix Resurrection lenticular cover is almost as good, although I like the back cover with 2-in-1 better. But Avengers 675 on sale now. They're going fast. We've restocked them here twice since I've been standing here. So everybody, please, hope you check it out and like it. You can buy other comics after you're done with this one. This is the one that you need this week.
Well, and
every week for 16 weeks.
And it's so fantastic. One of the things I really like about the start of No Surrender is that immediately it pulls every Avenger available all together under one story, and I think that's really exciting because it's been a while since we've seen all of the Avengers together.
Yes, we haven't. It's been many, many years since we've done kind of a dedicated Avengers event. Most Avengers events tend to be Marvel Universe events and involve everybody, but in the same sort of way that over the years we've done a bunch of like X-Men-centric events and Spider-Man-centric events. I've wanted to do kind of an Avengers-centric story for a long while, and this is it. We've been working on this for about a year now. It's going to come out, as I say, weekly, so there'll be another one, fresh and shiny and new next week. No waiting on the crazy cliffhanger that's at the end of this issue. No waiting on the crazier cliffhanger that's at the end of that issue every week.
Well, that is very exciting. I'm super excited. And, of course, it's got some amazing writers on it. It's got Mark Waid, it's got Al Ewing, and it's got Jim Zub, who we're going to be hosting this Friday for a very cool signing.
Definitely. Also, phenomenally good interior art by Pepe Larraz. who has recently been on Uncanny Avengers and who is really going to pop in a big way when people see this stuff.
Oh, it is fantastic art. It's some of the best art I've ever seen him do. I really love it. There's a couple really cool splash pages that I think look really great, especially like well, I don't think it's too spoilery, but there's the splash page of all the team.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a spread towards the end.
Yeah, the spread.
I know what you're talking about.
And as we turn to it, yeah, some really cool stuff.
Yes. What he said. It's a good looking book. We put a lot of love and work into it over literally about a year's worth of time. Everybody involved is super excited about it, and like I said, we hope people really enjoy it. If not, you can tweet at me at Tom Brevoort and tell me how awful it is and how you don't like it, and I will accept that. But you can say nice things there too. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm sure that you're going to be getting almost exclusively nice things because this is really fantastic. It really is a great start, and I'm excited for this to basically take over my wallet for the next 4 months.
Well, I'm very excited about that too because I like all the stuff you have in your wallet.
Well, see, that's great. I'm very excited, and thank you so much for stopping by to talk about the book with us.
Absolutely. Always love the store. Always happy to come down here whenever I'm in the Times Square area. It's a great place to pick up your comics. I've been watching people here for about 10 minutes come and buy Avengers No Surrender and other lesser inferior books on their Wednesday journey. It's been pretty great.
Well, thank you so much, Tom, and we're looking forward to the rest of the story.
Solid. One more next week.
One more next week. Woo! All right, so that's a lot of great information about No Surrender. You know it's going to be huge. It's going to be fantastic. And now we've got people grabbing it right as we speak. So you know it's one of the hottest books coming out. You got to check it out. Now we are going to take a trip up to look at the other collected editions, some of the older books that are coming out, like the Marvel Masterworks Daredevil hardcover volume 12. These Masterworks editions are so fantastic. They're so pretty, and of course, there's two different ways to collect it. So it's either Daredevil Volume 12 or it's actually 254 if you're watching the entire Marvel Universe unfold. And I love that they do that distinction. I think it's really cool. And it's great to see the actual formation of the universe around it. Now, as we continue on, we've got the third hardcover edition of Deadpool, the world's greatest comic magazine from Jerry Dugan. Some great stuff. Mike Hawthorne doing a lot of the art on this stuff. Really cool, and I love this Trad Moore cover. Now, as we continue, we've also got, and this is super cool, we've got the ultimate collections, the complete collections of Brian Posehn and Jerry Dugan's time on Deadpool. So this is from the beginning of the run, right when Marvel Now launched a little over 5 years ago. Some really great stories here. If you ever want to check out Deadpool, this is one of the most definitive runs on the character literally ever. They've been on the book for years and doing great stuff. Then we continue on, and we've got Volume 5 of Doctor Strange. This ties in with Secret Empire, and this was actually probably my favorite tie-in to all of Secret Empire. This was really great. Dennis Hopeless and Nico Henrikin does a lot of the art here, and the art is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I was floored. Fantastic stuff, really cool stuff. Then we also have Volume 2 of the new She-Hulk book, Let Them Eat Cake. What a great name. Let Them Eat Cake. Some really cool stuff from Mariko Tamaki. As we move on, we also have the epic collection of Fall of the Pantheon from Peter David, of course, from his time on The Incredible Hulk, one of the most legendary runs on the character literally ever. He defined the character in the 90s, and this is collecting the books published from 1994 to 1995. So if you're a fan, and then we've got Hela on the back, which is super cool. You can see where they drew some of the roots from Thor Ragnarok from these comics. Now, as we move on, we've also got the latest reprinted edition of the Mighty Thor. This is the old Thor by Walt Simonson, who is one of the definitive runs on the character. Completely shaped him in the 80s. And Better Ray Bill. Gotta love Better Ray Bill. Now, as we move on, we also have the Nemesis contract, which is a very cool collection for Cable. I'm a big Cable guy. I don't know what it is about him. Maybe it's just having a giant metal arm that I always thought was super awesome. But he's a great character, and this is a great storyline featuring, of course, Nick Fury. You got two guys that maybe got one good eye between them, but it's a fantastic team-up. And one of the most critically acclaimed books Marvel has put out in years, an absolute testament to the creative spirit of comics. You got The Vision. the hardcover edition from Tom King, Gabriel Hernandez Walta, and Jordi Belair. Really fantastic. I love this Mike Del Mundo cover. And it's an Eisner Award winner. So look at that. If you don't believe my words, believe the words of the Eisner Award committee, who have decreed it as fantastic. And this is really great. What I actually really love about this edition, so it's a $40 edition, so it's got a nice price that is agreeable. It's got 12 issues, so 12 issues for $40 is great. Nice oversized hardcover and tons and tons and tons of bonus material. There's a lot of stuff from the director's edition or director's cuts Marvel put out recently. So you got to check it out. Now we are going to bring it down, and we've got some more cool stuff coming out from Marvel this week, including the brand new issue of Daredevil from Charles Soule, and it's the continuation of the Mayor Fisk storyline. And what I love is this Leinil Francis Yu New Avengers variant, which is great because that's one of my favorite times in Avengers history because the book was just fantastic. And this is really cool read. And if you've been checking out Daredevil lately, you know things are getting really crazy between Matt and the Kingpin and his new role in New York City. And I don't want to tell you too much if you guys have fallen an issue behind, but you definitely want to catch up because it's a really great read. Then we have the brand new issue of Deadpool. We've got the super secret comic book cover here, which I always love those. And then we've got the regular cover, issue 292, Bucket List Part 1. It is a new storyline, so if you guys are looking to jump onto Deadpool, you always find him so funny. Check out Despicable Deadpool issue 292. You're in for a great treat. Then we also have one of the most meta books in all of comics, and I love it so much. Gwenpool, issue number 24 from Christopher Hastings and Guri Huri. Really fantastic book. If you haven't been checking it out, you've been missing out. And it is, and I'm not joking, it's called Lost in the Plot, the storyline. If you've been reading Gwenpool, you know that she is like, she's aware she's in a comic book and like she's aware of like what's going on in her world. And it is ramping up for some crazy stuff next issue as the series draws to a conclusion. We also have the brand new issue of She-Hulk from Mariko Tamaki. I mentioned before, big fan of the series. Really dig this cover. Really cool, actually. And I also am a big fan of the Avengers cover, which we already sold out of online. So if you guys want this cover, you have to come into the store because it's the only way we have it. Of course, harkening back to some of the classic Avengers lineups of old. And it's very cool stuff. It's got Black Knight. I love Black Knight. He's awesome. We also have the brand new issue of Miss Marvel, issue number 26. And I'm sorry, but can we just look at how ridiculous this is in like the best way possible? This book is so much fun, and I've really been enjoying what is going on with the Teenage Wasteland storyline as we see the impact that Kamala has left on her community and her world. Then we have the brand new issue of Punisher, issue number 220. You want to talk about a crazy difference between books. You got this one, super happy fun. Then you got Punisher. I don't think he's smiled in like a decade. And it is a fantastic book that does make me smile, you know, through the tears because it really is a hard-hitting book. It's really cool. And, of course, now Frank is in control of the War Machine armor, and that is absolutely insane. An absolutely crazy storyline, and it is definitely something you want to check out. I love last issue. It's been very episodic, very cool, and it's a great chance to just jump in and dive into an adventure. We also have the brand new issue of Runaways, issue number 5 from Rainbow Rowell and Chris Anka with Matt Wilson coloring it, and his colors really work well on Anka. Really a gorgeous book. If you're a fan of Runaways, maybe you guys were watching the series on Hulu, and the season finale just happened, so you guys need more Runaways now? Well, we got the book right here, so don't worry. It's going to be okay. Check out the comic. It really is something to behold. We also have the brand new issue of Secret Warriors, issue number 12. You can see Karnak rolling the dice. Some crazy stuff in this book. Secret Warriors has been one of my favorite books for the last year. Matt Rosenberg has really done a great job, and it is a great installment of the series. We also have the brand new issue of Spider-Man Deadpool, and it's oldies, and I'm sorry, I'm laughing because that's Deadpool with like a crazy old man beard, and that's just funny. And sometimes it's the simple things in life that just make you smile, and Spider-Man Deadpool is definitely a book that makes me smile consistently. Very fun stuff. Robbie Thompson's been doing a great job on the title. And you want to talk about another book that really makes me smile. We've got The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, issue number 26. Now, I'm sorry, 28. From Ryan North and Erica Henderson. Erica Henderson's art has completely defined this book, and it is so cool and so fun. And now they're facing off against like this bizarre version of the Silver Surfer, and it's this weird sci-fi adventure, and it's got Loki wrapped up in the story, and it works perfectly, and it's a really great read. So check it out. Now we move on. We've got the brand new issue of Darth Vader. We've got the very cool Galactic Icons variant from Rod Rice, which I love these, of course, showing off Finn. And we've got the regular cover as well. Charles Soule and Giuseppe Camicoli have been doing a great job on the title. I really dig it. Camicoli is one of my favorite artists. I really love European artists. It just happens to be. And he really is fantastic. Some great art and a great book. We also have the brand new issue of Venom. We've got a very cool Dark Avengers variant. Very fun period in the Avengers, in the Marvel Universe, really. Just that time in history was really cool during, Norman Osborn's reign over the world. And then we also have the regular one. Very cool stuff going on here. Geraldo Sandoval has been doing a great job with the art on Venom for a long time. And now we get to see some crazy stuff as we've got, I mean, look at this cover. We've got Venom, we've got Anti-Venom, we've got Spider-Man, we've got Black Cat, we've got Maniac, we've got Scorpion. I'm running out of breath before I run out of characters. It really is cool, and it's been a fantastic crossover. Now, as we continue on, we've got another huge release this week. We've got Old Man Hawkeye, issue number 1 from Ethan Sachs and Marco Cicchetto. Now, this book is fantastic. I love Cicchetto's art. He's done some really great stuff over the years, most recently doing the Phasma book that was gorgeous. And this is a fantastic prequel to the original Old Man Logan series. So if you are a fan of Old Man Logan, you got to check out the other old guy, Old Man Hawkeye. And it is really cool to see him put into this new light. And like I mentioned before, we're going to be having a signing with Ethan Sachs tomorrow night. So you guys better be there. You pick up your Old Man Hawkeye, you bring it over. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic time. It'll be so much fun, and we hope to see you there. Now, we've got one old man. Here's the other. Old Man Logan, issue number 33. The Scarlet Samurai storyline continues as we see Logan running around Japan and kind of just getting beat up a lot because, let's be honest, he loves Japan. And, hey, Japan's cool, but, like, every time you go, you just get, like, thrown out of windows. So maybe you should think about going somewhere else for vacation. But very cool story. Ed Brisson and Mike Deodato. So what's not to like? Now, as we move on, we've also got the brand new issue of Cable. The Newer Mutants continues. Now, this is really cool. Of course, we've got a great roster of characters here. We've got Cable, we've got Blink, we've got Armor, we've got Longshot, Shatterstar, X-23, and Dupe. And who doesn't love Dupe? Dupe is fantastic. He looks like a pickle, but that's okay. We love him. And it is a fantastic book. Ed Brisson's been doing a great job playing up the old 90s X-Men elements. Then we have over here the brand new issue of Phoenix Resurrection. We'll show that other cover as well. Now, this has been a really great read, and this issue, we are starting to get some really concrete answers on what's going on. We're starting to see what the full mystery is behind the return of Jean Grey. So you guys got to pick it up to find out what's going on. Matt Rosenberg and Joe Bennett jumping in on the art here, and I love Joe's art. We also have over here the brand new issue of X-Men Blue, Cross Time Capers. Very cool stuff from Cullen Bunn. And what makes me super happy to close us off, we've got X-Men Gold Annual number 1, which, of course, celebrating the anniversary of Excalibur. 30 years this year. Amazing. Time flies. Really great stuff. Mark Guggenheim's been doing a great job on the book. And it's also cool to see Alan Davis revisiting the original Excalibur with that cover. And that's the week. It's a great week. There's so much stuff to enjoy. Of course, you guys got to come by and pick up Avengers 675 for No Surrender and join us at our signing this Friday with Jim Zub. And then, while you're at it, pick up Old Man Hawkeye. Check that out. And then there's a ton of other crazy books. It's a big week in the world of comics. We hope to see you guys coming through soon. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful time to be a comic book fan. We'll see you soon.